Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first band concert of the 2021-2022 school year.
And the first real band concert in, what, 2 years?
A long time. My name is Nick Blue. I'm one of the band directors here at Grassland Middle School. I am so glad that you all have come out in support of our many, many fine young musicians here at Grassland. The people sitting before you are our beginner band. Most of them are sixth graders. Most of them are sixth graders, but a handful of them are seventh graders. We were very lucky this year to be able to offer beginning instruction to a handful of seventh grade students who still wanted to be in band and learn an instrument and play with all of their peers. So, let's just get right into it. London Bridge by the Grassland Middle School beginning band.
We're going to perform a few different excerpts out of the book, out of the method book, and then they're going to play their first concert piece, actually a real piece of music. We didn't do that last year in the extended form that we had for last year's beginners until April. So we're ahead of the game and getting back on track to where it normally would be before COVID hit. So. What I was going to ask you, do you know how to turn this thing off? Because I
The next piece we have for you is entitled Russian Folk Song. And funnily enough, this Russian folk song is written by a German composer. Written by Ludwig van Beethoven. It probably was a real Russian folk song that Beethoven heard, but decided to write for his own. I believe it was for the piano originally. So hope you enjoy Russian Folk Song. Next we have a traditional English carol for you all, Good King Wenceslas. And with this one we're doing something a little bit different. So most people, and I would say all of the beginning band students at the beginning of the year, knew what a solo was. Of course, a solo is when one person plays or sings something by himself. But a lot of them didn't know a very similar and related term, soli, S-O-L-I, is when one particular section of an ensemble plays as if they were playing a solo. So what you're going to hear are some solis. At the very beginning, the woodwinds, meaning the flute, the oboe, the clarinet, the bassoon, and the saxophone, will play by themselves, and then they will be joined by the brass. And after that, the brass will take the soli, meaning the trumpet, the French horn, the trombone, the baritone, and the tuba. And the percussion, of course, will play all the time. Good King Wenceslas.
The next one is Jolly Old Saint Nick. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but they've been playing in harmony. So we're past plain old melodic lines, and we're adding harmony now and different voices, woodwind to brass, as Mr. Blue said before. So Jolly Old Saint Nicholas. Here we go.
Next we have for you a traditional Jewish folk song, the dreidel song, about a traditional Jewish game. And last night, funnily enough, happened to be the 8th night of Hanukkah. So very happy Hanukkah to any of you who may celebrate. Please enjoy the dreidel song.
please feel free to sing along with this one because you all know it. I think you all know this one. Let's guess what it is.
Aren't they great? It's so very impressive to me that just a few short months ago, at the beginning of August, all of us were beginners. Hardly anybody knew how to read music or how to even hold a musical instrument. So when we start with them, we start at the very beginning. We teach them how to read notes on the staff. We teach them how to read rhythm. We teach them how to read pitch and rhythm at the same time. We teach them how to hold their instrument. We teach them how to breathe into the instrument. We teach them all of those things necessary to be a successful musician. I could go on and on and on. There are so many skills required to be a good, successful musician. And the fact that these young people have been able to pick up all of those skills so very quickly is very, very impressive. And believe it or not, we are at the final selection of our portion of the concert. We will now play a piece of music called The First Christmas March. And the really cool thing about this is that it was our first piece of music that was not in our book, that was not in our method book that we use every day. So each instrument, instead of all of them playing the exact same thing, has their very own part. All the flutes play the same part, all the clarinets play the same part, and so on. And of course, that makes for much more interesting music. So what you're going to hear is a mashup of a whole lot of Christmas tunes, some of which, unfortunately, you've already heard this evening, but what can you do? Please enjoy The First Christmas March. so much. Very, very good job. I'm very proud of you all. Now, if you'll be a little bit patient with us, we are going to do a little switcheroo because all of the people you see on the floor of the gym need to be in the bleachers, and all of the people you see in the bleachers need to be on the floor of the gym. So students, listen carefully. This is how this is going to work. Let me remind you. Beginning band students, you will get up, walk through the aisles, out that direction. And in just a second, Symphonic band, Mr. Shadow or myself will be over there to tell you when to come on down. So just stay put for right now, all right, Symphonic band? And go. All right, hello again. Thank you so much for being patient with us as we get our people where they need to be for the second portion of our concert. In front of you is the Grassland Middle School Symphonic Band. And this year, we've done things a little bit differently. We decided, because due to COVID, band programs everywhere have lost tons and tons of members for various reasons because of COVID. And this year, unfortunately, the current 8th grade class, through no fault of their own, just through circumstance, is going to be very small. So in order to give those members of the band a true full ensemble experience where every instrument group is represented, we decided to combine the 7th and 8th grade bands into one full ensemble. And man, has it been fun working with all these kids, watching them get to know each other, watching them learn to work together. It's just been really, really great to see. It's really, really awesome, and I hope that they would agree. So we have a lot of really cool pieces to play for you all this evening, the first of which we performed at our Veterans Day assembly about a month ago. And so since, unfortunately, there was no audience, except for a small amount of veterans at that assembly, we thought we'd play those pieces for you tonight so that you can get to hear and enjoy them. So the first piece that we will play is the Marches of the Armed Forces, a medley of all of the traditional songs for each branch of the United States service. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce another member of our team, although not a member of our team here at Grassland Middle School. We are very, very lucky to be able to collaborate very closely with the band directors at Franklin High School. So I would like to introduce Mr. Jacob Campos, the band director over at Franklin High School, to say a few words.
So well. Hi parents back there too. I don't take for granted that you're here. First of all, let me say this. I don't take it lightly or take it for granted that you are here right now, and not just because you have to pick them up, for your kids. I mean this as a teacher who meets lots of parents all the time and sees them. In a world of apathy, it is amazing how much you are putting in for your children right here. Especially something that means something. It's a little different than just bubbling in C. You know what I'm saying? This is something that means something right here to me a whole lot. Yes, I'm the band director at Franklin High School. We're an 87-year-old program over there that has a long tradition of excellence. This fall, even, after COVID, last year we kept pushing through. Out of about 4,000 bands in the United States that went through the Bands of America circuit, we came out 20th in the national championships to make the circuit. It's really the kids. The kids decided that they meant business and that they were going to do something this year. They loved it so much, in fact, it was crazy. Our junior class brought the band directors together in the band room, and I had told them already, like, guys, we got to buy instruments, we got so much to do, we have to rebuild some things just in our program. They sat us down and had this petition, like, we really want to go to nationals again. We'll do anything it takes. And so the difficulty there is we have stuff that we need to work on and all that too, but I love that somehow as a community we've come together, these kids who are just like, they are dying to do something worthwhile. And so just if you have any questions about the band, you can reach out to me in an email. But I expect to see all of these kids, every single one, in the band at Franklin High School one day. And I will say the reason why I'm pretty adamant about it is because we're not just a band that's trying to go for national titles or whatever. The reason why that's all possible is not because of music. A lot of people say, like, just music is so great, it makes you feel. That's not true. I mean, it does sometimes, but sometimes music doesn't. What's true is we're an organization that is based on a set of core values. And our core values operate, it's the way that we decide to do everything. When we make decisions, we say, is this good stewardship? Is it community? Is this enjoyment for our kids? Is this fulfillment as them as people who are going to be citizens or doctors or whatever? We don't make any decisions. And we always bring them out on a piece of paper, and everything we do comes out of those core values. So just saying, not only for music, but your kids being a part of an organization that actually cares about who they become, and not just they're going to play an instrument or be a band director one day. I really hope you'll consider them continuing on in the Franklin Band. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Campos. All right, on we go to our next selection. I think this one requires just a very quick amount of explanation. This piece is called The Merry Christmas Machine. And the idea behind the piece is that it is supposed to mimic one of those little wind-up toys. You know, you wind it up in the back and then it kind of like does one of these. So you're going to hear at the very beginning of the piece the toy being wound up by a member of our percussion section back there. And then halfway through the piece, you know what happens to those toys after a while. They stop because you need to wind them again. So about halfway through, you'll hear it run out of steam. There's some calamity that happens, and then we will have to wind up the toy again so that we can finish on a high note, no pun intended. The Merry Christmas Machine. And now, we unfortunately have only one more piece for you. We will play Frosty the Snowman, featuring one of our percussionists back there, Matt McHale, on the drum kit. So please hope you enjoy Frosty the Snowman. As you're going home tonight, please be safe. Have a very, very wonderful holiday season, and we are so looking forward to having you back here in the gym for our spring concert at the end of April. Thank you all so very much.